Welcome to our Tuesday live training. Our topic today, why you're so exhausted, and it's not what your doctor checked for. Right? Why am I so tired? And what's the hormone link that no one told me about? My name's Tori Vallon. If we haven't met before, I'm a women's integrative nutrition and lifestyle coach. I'm also a functional weight loss specialist. I'm coming to you live right now in my community that I've built called Radiant Health for Women 40 Plus. This is the place you come for when you're looking for answers. Why can't I lose the stubborn weight? Why are my perimenopause problems so bad and giving me grief? Why is life so hard in my body right now? Why do I feel so tired? This is the place you come to, and I provide lots of education. Hi, Karen. It's beautiful to have you. Hey, Bron. Okay, thank you for saying hello, everyone. If you're new here, I would love you to let me know. You can say, I'm a new person, or you can just say hi. I'll probably recognize your name and see that you're new. I'd love to welcome you to our community if this is your very first time watching one of my live trainings that I do on Tuesdays. If you have been coming here for quite a little while now, you watch a few of my Tuesday live trainings, then please say hello because we're already friends. That's what friends do. Don't sit in the background. Francine saying just 20 minutes ago I was trying to stay awake this time of the day. Oh, this time of day is rough for you, huh? I think I have a few ideas why that might be. So do some emojis, say hi. If you're catching the replay, you're not here with me live, you're watching it on replay, I want you to type hashtag replay, all right? Because I'd love to come back and say hello to you when you caught up on this very important information, all right? So as I'm chatting and sharing information with you, please share with me your favorite emojis. If I ask you to type a word, type a word. Your comments keep me coming back for more. So the more enthusiastic you are, the more enthusiastic I am about sharing this information with women. And also when you make lots of comments, it pops this up in the algorithm so more women get access to this very important information. So today's training is going to give you clarity in the best possible way so that you don't continue on this kind of trail of like, why am I so tired? Is it just because I need more sleep? Why am I so tired? Is it just because my body hates me now? Why am I so tired? Is it just perimenopause? It's none of those things. Okay, there's some really important mechanisms going on. There are hormone links back to our fatigue that I would love to teach you about today. Who's keen to learn about the hormonal reasons why they might feel tired? Give me a thumbs up or give me some little wavy hands in the air. All right, there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm sure I'll see your comments in a moment. And I've got a beautiful turmeric latte here that I'm enjoying. So I'm going to drink that. All right. We have 8 people watching, so please say hi if you haven't said hi already. So why am I so tired? I'm 45 years old. I'm not 45. I'm 47. I turned 48 this year. But if you're saying, why am I so tired? I'm only 45. I'm young. I shouldn't feel this tired. Is this perimenopause? What's going on? All right, Bron's joining in. Beautiful. So the first thing I want to share with you is that we can have blood sugar chaos that we didn't even know about. Okay. I know sometimes women hear blood sugar, they can hear insulin resistance and they think, oh, that's a diabetes thing. That's not me. I don't have that. If I had that, someone would have told me about it. Well, here's the thing. Actually, as we get into perimenopausal years and menopausal years, we actually don't manage our blood sugars so well, right? Our sex hormones were a bit of a buffer that helped us manage blood sugars better, and we don't manage them so well now. And so you don't have to be a diabetic to have dysregulated blood sugar. If you are skipping breakfast, so many women, when they come to me, they're saying, I don't eat breakfast, oh yeah, I'm intermittent fasting. Okay, how's that working out for you? If you're skipping your breakfast and you're just drinking a coffee in the morning and then you grab something a little bit later in the afternoon, or maybe you don't, then I want to tell you, you have blood sugar chaos. Right, Francine wants to hear about it. Awesome, nice to see your emojis go. Then you probably have some really dysregulated blood sugar. You're probably experiencing blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day. So if you reach a point in the day, if this is your problem, it's usually afternoonish, where you feel like you've hit the wall. You feel like, oh my God, I need a nap. It's not because you've got a coffee deficiency. There's no such thing as a coffee deficiency. Human beings don't have caffeine deficiency. It's metabolic instability. Your metabolic hormones are really struggling. Yeah. Your body is spending so much energy trying to stabilize blood sugars because your body has to keep blood sugars stable to keep you alive. For you, it's usually the afternoon, Francine. Okay. So this doesn't easily show up in standard blood tests, and that's why a lot of women don't know about it, because if you go to a GP, they're going to check your fasting glucose, and fasting glucose is the last domino to fall. It's the last thing that will go wrong in a series of things that could go wrong if you're struggling to manage your blood sugars and you're moving towards insulin resistance. This is also one of the fastest things that we can fix, right? So we can eat more regularly and we can have better composition on our plate. We can choose better foods, right? And that can help us manage the metabolic hormones that are causing us to crash in the afternoon. Okay. So if you think that the afternoon crash is you and you think you need to stabilize your blood sugars, I want you to type crash, right? If this is you, crash. We've got 7 people on the call, so I should see plenty of comments here. It's not going to kill you to comment. I know some people are like, oh, I don't want anyone to know I'm watching. Just come on, join in. Join in, type crash if you struggle with afternoon energy. So many women come to me saying, I can't make it through the afternoon without a nap. Type crash if that's you. What can you do about it? Eat more regularly. Better composition on your plate is going to be a help. We're going to talk about some more things that will help too, right? But better meal composition, better balance in your foods. In Radiant Health Reset, we talk exactly about what should be on the plate for better energy. Yeah, so that's you too, Francine. Okay, well, I'm glad you're with me in Radiant Health Reset. I know it's still kind of early-ish days, but this is going to get so much better for you. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is your thyroid, right? This thyroid involvement in our energy levels. There's thyroid involvement in why you feel so tired. Thyroid hormones are a part of this picture, right? So if you've gone to your doctor and you've complained of tiredness, and you've said, I think this might have something to do with my thyroid, they probably checked one marker, TSH. That's it, just that one marker. By the way, TSH isn't actually a thyroid marker, it's a brain hormone. I mean, it's a thyroid marker, but it's not a thyroid hormone, it's a brain hormone. So they check, okay, thyroid stimulating hormone, cool. Have you got some? Yeah, it looks fine, everything's fine here. And they're looking at that number and they're comparing it to a reference range. By the way, reference ranges are designed to catch disease, not function. So if you fall within the reference range, it just means you're sick, but you're not sick enough to get disease. It doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean you're thriving. But what they don't do is they don't look at the full picture. So they're not ordering a full thyroid panel. They're checking TSH. They might check TSH and they might check T4. And they go, oh, looks good here. So it's not your thyroid. Do you know how many women I've had that have come to me and said, I'm so exhausted, but it's not my thyroid. I've had everything checked and my thyroid is fine. Oh my God. It's not fine, right? It's never fine. I won't say never, but the women who come to me who are struggling with excess weight and fatigue, their thyroids are not fine. It's just that your doctor didn't look at the right markers and didn't know what markers should look like to be optimal, right? If they're just looking at TSH on its own, which I said to you, TSH is a brain hormone. It's sent from the brain to the thyroid to stimulate it to make T4. So that's what TSH is. It's not an indicator of how much T4 you're making. Beg your pardon, my phone's ringing. It's not an indicator of whether your thyroid hormones are being created in abundance or whether you're converting your storage thyroid hormones into active thyroid hormones well. Okay, it's a little bit like this. It's a little bit like if your car wasn't running very well and you took it to a mechanic and the mechanic checked the oil and said, well, it's not the engine. There's actually nothing wrong with your car because I looked at the oil. I looked at the oil and I changed the oil. And so if it's not running well now, well, it's not, I don't know what it is, but it's not the engine. There's nothing really wrong with the engine. But checking the oil is not the same as checking everything. It's just checking the oil. So, okay, you've got oil, but have you checked whether there's fuel? Have you checked whether the rest of the engine, I'm not a car person. I wish I could delve into car terminology here. I can't. But have you checked whether the rest of the engine is functioning okay? And it's just like that. Women are walking around with sluggish thyroid synthesis and sluggish thyroid hormone conversion. They're gaining weight. They're losing, their hair's dropping out. They feel freezing. They've got brain fog and they're told everything's normal. Everything's not normal. And also, you don't want to be normal. You don't want to fall within the normal range because most women who are in that normal range are on their way to severe thyroid dysfunction, potentially thyroid disease. You want to be optimal. You want to be thriving. This is what we aim for in the Radiant Health Reset, my signature program. We aim for a body that's thriving, right? So I want you to type optimal. If that's what you want, you don't want to be good, you don't want to be fine, you want to be optimal. If you've ever been to the doctor and they've looked at your thyroid labs and they've gone, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid, everything's fine, but you know something's off, I want you to type optimal in big capital letters. Right, Karen's typing crash as well. So there's a little bit of a delay with our comments coming in, so sometimes I see your comments a few minutes after you make them. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about, this is one that most women know about, and this is our iron levels, okay? Most women know about iron. It's a critical mineral to our energy levels. But what's going on with this is that we don't really address this until it's looking really dire. Yeah, thanks guys. Optimal, optimal. So nice to see your comments here. So yeah, we are waiting until women have such low ferritin stores that then they're really struggling. And so we get our ferritin checked. But conventional medicine says that if your ferritin's above 30, well, that's fine, right? You're in range. Sometimes they wait until it's under 20. Sometimes they wait until it's, oh my gosh, under 12 to actually flag it as a problem. But you are going to feel that if you're a menstruating woman. You're going to feel tired. You're going to have poor recovery after exercise. You'll probably be a bit foggy in the brain. You might have restless legs, right? But no one actually flags it and says it's a problem until you're properly anemic. And that is a big problem for women. Okay? So you don't want ferritin that's just within range because it's not below 30. It's, between 30 and 120, that's fine. Well, it's not. Because optimal is more like 80. Yeah? 80 and above. Awesome. Great to have you here, Ruth. Yes, Ruth is agreeing with me. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is how fatigue can often be a result. Fatigue and exhaustion, I want to use the word exhaustion, can be a result of unrelenting stress that reshapes our entire hormonal landscape. This is a big one. And this is one that ties everything together. So chronic stress, it's not just the stress in the moment that makes you feel tired because it zaps you a little bit. It actually rewires your entire hormonal orchestration. Because if your body's been running in high stress mode for years, your body knows that's not safe. And your body has a way of actually shutting down your access to cortisol to force you to rest. It just shuts it off. And then we call that cortisol dysregulation, but it's not because something went haywire with the body. It's because something went haywire with your choice to have this much stress in your life, or to not manage the stress that you could not control. And that feels terrible in the body. It can feel like waking up first thing in the morning and feeling like you need to go straight back to bed. Some women use this word burnout. I don't call it burnout. It's not a very clinical term. It doesn't really mean much to me. Dysregulated cortisol in the HPATG axis, the axis upon which all of our hormones sit and respond, and that needs to be in balance, right? So this is what happens when, we used to use this term adrenal fatigue. I don't use the word for adrenal fatigue so much. It makes it sound like your adrenal glands got tired. That's not what happened. Adrenal dysfunction. You were exposed to unrelenting stress for so long that your body shut down access to cortisol on purpose. Cortisol is what gives you energy. It gets such a bad rap, that hormone, doesn't it? It's a beautiful hormone. Gives you your first morning energy and helps you jump out of bed. You want it nice and high. I know that's a real myth, pervasive myth, that you don't want cortisol and you want it really low, and it's not true. So addressing stress isn't just like a nice thing to do. It's critical to avoiding the type of dysfunction that will lead to exhaustion. And we have to do it every day. And when you address this little piece here, everything in the body starts responding better. Okay? So I've discussed a few problems here. Let's bring them home. They're all interconnected. So you've come here today because maybe you've been told that fatigue is just aging, or it's just perimenopause, or this is just stress, or this is just what it's like over the age of 40. But if you're going, really, do I have to accept this? I'm only 45, I'm really young. Then I want you to understand the hormonal links and the underlying root causes so you can do something about them. This is what we do in the Radiant Health Reset. We are addressing root causes for women, perimenopausal, menopausal women, root causes of excess weight, root causes of fatigue and exhaustion. Okay, so let's bring it home. So you got told it's just aging, you got told it's just perimenopause, but now you can see there are some really understandable root causes here, things that we can name and things we can test. So unstable blood sugar is one, and there are practical things you can do. Stop skipping breakfast, right? Thyroid assessment that was never complete because they just measured a couple of markers and they don't tell the full picture. So there can be thyroid involvement in your fatigue. Thyroid hormones are involved here. Can involve minerals, our iron levels. Maybe they fall within the reference range. Maybe that's not where we want to be. Maybe we don't want to be in the reference range. Maybe we want to be optimal, and that might be outside of the reference range. And then there's unrelenting stress and the impact that causes on those stress and metabolic hormones that leads to exhaustion, that feels like we can't fix it. We can, but it's going to take some time and attention, a lot like the cholesterol myth. Exactly, Francine. Yeah, I think you're referring to what I said about cortisol. Cortisol gets a bad rap, so does cholesterol. Both of them are beautiful. You want them in abundance. Okay, so it's not a huge mystery here about the hormonal connection to fatigue, but you need the right education, and then you need the guidance on how you can heal it. And this is exactly what we do inside my signature program, the Radiant Health Reset. We look at the full picture. We take the holistic approach to healing. We don't just look at one single organ or one single system, and we just look at one test and make a decision from that. We understand that in order to experience a life where you feel radiantly healthy all of the time, you need balance in all systems. And what most women come to me with is multiple systems in their body dysfunctioning. And we can restore that function, right? We have a plan that addresses the root causes, and all you need to do is follow the bouncing ball. I actually have an opening coming up in the Radiant Health Reset. I'm just looking to my calendar right now. Okay, so next week, the doors are open to the Radiant Health Reset. I'm giving first preference to those who have joined me in the Metabolic Jumpstart Challenge this week. They will get an opportunity to join. The week after that, doors are open. If you would like to apply, I just have a few small places to come in, and this year I'm not doing very many intakes. All right. So if you'd like to join my incredible container, the Radiant Health Reset, well, you will get the support to make the changes you need to make to heal your body so you're not struggling with fatigue and exhaustion and overweight. Then you need to let me know. You could comment here ready, and as soon as doors open, we give first preference to Metabolic Jumpstart. But as soon as we're ready to open the doors to everyone else, I'll have one of my team reach out to you. But you need to type ready in big capital letters if you are ready to join my group container. Okay, those spots fill quickly, so please let me know. Don't stay silent. All right, so here's what I want you to walk away with today. I want you to know the fatigue that you feel, the exhaustion that you feel. It's not a mystery, and you don't have to live with it. It doesn't have to be like this forever. It's just that nobody helped you understand the root causes before, and that's what I'm here for, to help women understand the root causes of the symptoms that they experience, so they have the tools to fix it themselves, to help their bodies heal, or to have better conversations with their doctors and understand their test results better. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye now. Mwah.